Two trusted ride options, each promising a smooth trip. But which truly wins for city travel? Which one really delivers? On the left, Lyft, Rideshare reinvented. And on the right, Curb, your shortcut to licensed taxis. Let's skip the buzzwords and get straight to what matters for your ride. We'll score them on key categories. And at the end, you'll know exactly which service comes out ahead. The result might just surprise you. So, before we zoom into the nitty-gritty, here's what we'll compare. Coverage and availability, price, driver earnings, convenience and app experience, licensing and safety, and yeah, ecosystem and partnerships. Got those categories in your mental map? Great, let's start. First up is coverage and availability. Lyft, honestly, is everywhere. I mean, 2 million plus drivers? Pretty wild. So in most major US cities, you can pull up the app and get a car in minutes. Sure, if you're in the boonies, there are some gaps, but overall, the coverage is kind of legendary. Then there's Curb. It taps into legit taxis, about 100,000 of them, and is live in 65 plus cities. The NYC scene? Super strong. But if you're traveling cross-country or deep into suburbia, it's not quite nationwide. And yeah, fewer drivers than Lyft. So, for just being available practically everywhere, Lyft takes the win here. All right, Price. This is where things get spicy. Lyft sometimes does that surge pricing thing, like prices shoot up if demand is crazy, which can be a double-edged sword. Good for getting a car fast, not so good for your wallet, especially during peak hours. On the flip side, Curb's fares are up front. If you're riding under 5 miles in NYC, it's typically way cheaper than Lyft. Since fares are meter-based, you won't get hit with sudden surprises. The catch? If you're going long distance, Curb doesn't always compete with rideshare prices. Lyft's surge sometimes brings in more drivers, but Curb keeps it real with predictable taxi pricing. For affordability, especially in city trips, Curb clinches this category. Next up, driver earnings. So with Lyft, drivers get a ton of ride requests, and when those fares surge, there's a chance for big payouts. But, here's the kicker, Lyft's commission can be up to 44%, so drivers often only keep about 56 to 70% of the fare. The volume is great, but ouch, those cuts add up. Meanwhile, Curb, drivers keep 83 to 85% of every ride. If you're a Curb driver in LA and using the Lyft integration, reports from 2025 show earnings can jump 20%. Pretty sweet, right? Oh, no subscription fees either. The flip side? No surges. So the absolute top earnings, like on crazy Saturday nights, aren't quite as high. But overall, for driver earnings, Curb stands out. Quick fact break. Did you know that in 2025, NYC taxis booked through Curb are almost always cheaper than Lyft for rides under 5 miles? If you're hopping around Manhattan, this is a total game changer. Let's talk convenience and app experience. Lyft's app is slick, super intuitive, and that quick pickup magic, truly hard to beat. You get live ride tracking, easy payments, and strong support if things glitch, though matching can sometimes lag during peak hours. With Curb, you can now hail taxis inside the Lyft app, which, honestly, is smart. The traditional Curb app is fine for that classic taxi look and one-tap hail, but it feels dated compared to rideshare apps. Payments can be a bit limited, but Curb does aggregate fleets with its flow system. Still, if you want that polished, seamless user vibe, Lyft is ahead on convenience. Now, licensing and safety. So, Lyft does basic background checks and has in-app safety features, but let's be real. It's all private drivers, and sometimes the rules just aren't tight compared to official taxis. Curb deals only in licensed taxi drivers. These drivers and their vehicles go through government checks. It totally dodges the whole rideshare legal drama we sometimes see. For classic taxi complaints, yeah, those can still happen. But from a safety and regulation standpoint, Curb is more buttoned up, so it takes this round. And lastly, ecosystem and partnerships. Lyft, being the big name, now lets you dispatch Curb taxis in LA and other cities, thanks to Curb Flow. Plus, it hooks into Google Maps, Apple Pay, all that good stuff. Still, not every city lets you access all taxis. Curb is centralizing demand, pulling in Lyft and other requests, so the 2025 partnership really widened its net. but it's still beefing up those rideshare-like app features. This one's honestly too close to call, so I'm giving both a tie for their ongoing integrations. Here's a radar chart comparing both options across what we just talked about, from availability, price, driver earnings, to convenience, safety, and partnerships. You'll see Lyft spread wide in coverage and smooth app experience, while Curb really spikes for price and safety. So, wrapping it up, Lyft is still the go-to for anyone wanting instant rides, everywhere. But if you care about predictable fares, higher driver payouts, and licensed taxi safety, especially in big cities, Curb is honestly the sleeper hit. And now that both apps kind of play nice together, you can just pick what works best per ride. Pretty awesome, right? Found this comparison useful? Go ahead, save it, share it, and make your next urban trip way smarter. Want more ride hacks? Stay tuned.